All right, what up, though, beautiful people? Your boy, JB Ricks, a.k.a. The Ricks Review, in the building for another podcast we're throwing at you this week. And I got some help for the first official week of college football. A fellow Spartan dog of mine, she's like a sister of mine as well, my homegirl, Trish Dave, in the building to help me out with this week's podcast. And Trish, I appreciate you so much for joining this. We've been talking about doing this for so long, and here we are, finally in a position to go ahead and display our passion and share our passion of sports, with the world. So how you been, baby girl? How you doing?
Thriving. How you doing?
Hey, I'm thriving too. I'm thriving too out here, man. Like I said, we've been talking about doing this a long time, and it's finally here. I've known you for a long, long time, and I know your passion for sports kind of is right up there with mine or whatever. And I told you I was going to bring you on the podcast so we could talk our stuff, you know what I mean, from time to time or whatever. And here is our first opportunity to do that, man. Why don't you give the Ricks Review podcast viewers a little bit of your background information as far as where you at right now with what you're doing, chasing your dreams in the sports realm or whatever, and why you have so much passion for this realm of sports.
For sure. Just rewind real quick. You should have had me on last week when you were talking smack about Michigan. So that, my time to shine.
You're right. My bad.
Well, here we are. We're a week late. It's all good. So I am from Chicago. I am a born and bred Chicagoan, and I grew up during, well, I don't want to date myself or age myself, but the 80s and 90s, and obviously it was the Jordan era. So I feel like we were, basketball fans by default. And it's so crazy because during the 90s, we won 6 championships all through, for me, it was all through grammar school.
Oh, wow.
So then I went to high school, and then I get to college, I get to Michigan State, and this is my first time out of the Chicago bubble. And I'm hearing these stories, that our classmates, and they're talking about, when we lost and we didn't really have championships. And the last one they won, when they won in 2004, the Pistons won. I think that was their first one since like the 80s.
Yeah.
And that was just, it just didn't make sense to me. I've only known winning.
Yeah.
I've only known the teams to win. Well, the basketball team anyway. So that was really interesting. Like, I guess, if your team's winning, that means the other teams are losing, right?
Exactly.
It was really great to be on the winning end of it. And then I went to school for communications mass media, and I wish I knew in school that I wanted to do sports broadcasting. I knew I wanted to be in front of the camera in a broadcasting perspective, but it was more so entertainment. Like I did radio, television, that route. But I wish I knew then what I know now, and really like focus on sports then. But it's never too late, and I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's never too late. It's never too late to go out here and chase a dream or whatever. You and I have been doing this for a long time, and we're going to continue to do this until the end of time. So, you definitely spoke. Yeah, you spoke on that Chicago background, and we're definitely going to get into that. But let's start off with our bloodline together, you know what I mean, which is that green and white. And you're right. I should have had you on when we was talking all that smack about those additional sanctions that came down to Michigan. But you know what? I feel like I have you here at the right time in the right place, because we're going to talk smack about our Spartan Dogs and the year that we are going to have progressing from the first year of the Jonathan Smith era. And that's basically where I want to get into things with you, talking about the Michigan State football team. We are both diehard Spartan alumni, so we love all of our teams. We'll get into basketball a little bit later, but let's get into football because we are in the first week of the college football season. Michigan State coming off Jonathan Smith's first year, 5-7, one game away from being bowl eligible, so obviously we got to expect an improvement this year, right, Trish?
Yeah. So we just got to win 6 games. That's an improvement.
6 games. That's it. A one-game improvement is going to get us into a bowl game or whatnot. And to be completely honest with how stacked the Big Ten is, I don't feel like, you correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I don't feel like we should have supreme expectations for Michigan State, but we should have expectations for them to get into a bowl game. So I wanted to
Oh,
I wanted to go through the
absolutely.
schedule with you and see, let's bounce off like wins and losses or whatever and see if our Spartan Dogs are going to be able to pull off the 6 wins this year. You down?
Let's go. Run through it.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Obviously, things kicking off this week as Michigan State will open up their season with 3 of their games at home, and they're going to start off with New Mexico. Now, I don't know too much about New Mexico. I'm pretty sure you don't know too much about New Mexico, but in a game like this, you're at home, beginning of the season, in front of your home crowd. You know Spartan Stadium is going to be electric on a Friday night. Jonathan Smith wanting to get off to a good start in year 2. I'm marking that a win, Trish. Are you with me on that one against Western Michigan?
I'm marking it a win.
Forgive me if I said New Mexico. I'm sorry about that. Michigan's playing New Mexico to open their season. Michigan State is opening up at home against Western Michigan. So obviously that's going to be an in-state
that's
battle
a
right
win.
there.
That's a for sure win.
That's a win right there, right off the rip. And like I said, year 2 expectations, I think we have a solid quarterback this year in Aiden Childs. He just has to show progression as far as growing up and maturing when it comes to taking care of the ball. If he can do those things, he is going to be a quarterback to be reckoned with in the Big Ten this year. So that first game against Western Michigan, I think they come out firing. I think they come out flying, and I think they're going to handle their business at home to start the season out 1-0. So let's go to their next game. I got Boston College at home. Boston College.
Now, that's actually Michigan State basketball reunion weekend, so that's really going to be dope.
Okay, yeah, everybody and their grandma going to be in town for that right there, man, because you know how much we like to laud the basketball team for everything they've done for our athletics program. Going up against Boston College, we had a tough loss against them last year during Jonathan Smith's first year with Michigan State. That was the game where Aiden Childs was having a great game, but he had some costly turnovers, which ended up costing them in the end. And Michigan State ended up losing that game down the stretch at Boston College. I'm calling for some revenge this year. I think Aiden Childs is going to grow up from the mistakes he made last year against Boston College. This game is also at Spartan Stadium, so you're going to have the home crowd. How you feeling about that matchup against Boston College this year compared to last year with us having the home crowd behind us?
For me, I just feel like that game particularly could go either way. Of course, I'm rooting for a win. Just it being at home. Home court advantage, home turf is always, in your favor, of course. But for some reason, I just feel like it could go either way. It's one of those games because last year was kind of a blowout.
Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely right. No, it wasn't a blowout, but Boston College did get us in the end because of those turnovers. And no, you're right. These are 2 teams who are kind of like picked to finish in the middle tier. Two middle tier teams here in the Big Ten. So you're absolutely right. This game could go either way. I'm calling for Michigan State to get the revenge, though, and take care of business in front of home. So that's going to get them off to a 2-0 start. All right, so we're 4 games away from bowl eligibility. Game 3 will also be at home against Youngstown State. Check that as a win.
Okay.
That's a win. Okay. I believe Youngstown State is still FCS in the lower division or whatnot. That, you always get one of those games on the schedule. Should be a gimme game for Michigan State. So I got our boys starting off at 3-0 with wins against Western Michigan.
It's giving Mel Tucker. It's giving Mel Tucker when we started out. We came out the gate 8-0.
Oh, you brought up the dog Mel Tucker in this
thing, man. We were undefeated for a minute.
Hey, for a nice little minute, right? So I got us starting off at 3-0. I know you said you are that Boston College game can be back and forth. Either team can go with that one or whatever, but I'm picking State. So I got us at 3-0 right now. You got us at 2-1 or you got us at 3-0? Which one is it?
I'm gonna say 3-0. I'm with team undefeated.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, join this bandwagon over here, baby, because you know what I mean. We Spartan Dogs. We got to give our team that pep talk and let them know they got to be ready to go. All right. So after those first 3 games at home, we're gonna take our 3-0 record all the way out to Los Angeles for our first road game of the year, and it's gonna be at USC. Now, here's a little tidbit I want to throw out there right now. One of the major concerns from Michigan State's woes last year were their road contests. They didn't do well on the road last year.
Yeah.
They were only 1-4. I don't know. I have to see it to believe it.
1-5.
1-5. 1-4, 1-5. One of those 2 or whatnot. But they only got one road win last year. They only got one road win, and that is something that could be a concern this year. But looking at this schedule at USC, back-to-back games at USC and at Nebraska, I think those are going to be tough. Now, until I can see Michigan State improve their performances on the road compared to last year, I'm not ready to give them the benefit of the doubt yet. Are you? You let me know how you feel, if you feel different.
I hate to say it, but I think they might take an L on the road,
Yeah.
especially with USC and
Nebraska is
maybe
after that.
with Nebraska.
Yeah. And Nebraska has definitely improved this year too or whatnot. So, like I said, when it comes to the road games, I got to see the improvement before I can actually believe it. So I'm going to go ahead and give them losses in back-to-back games right there. USC and Nebraska. So through the first 5 games of the season, we're 3-2. But you know what? We're not out of the woods. We still got plenty of opportunities to go and get these other 3 wins, right? So after Nebraska, we're coming back home to play UCLA at home. Okay. Now this is the part
That's
of the
win.
Okay. You calling it? You calling it a dub already? This is the part of the season where you want to see, you know what I mean, the rhythm that they can get into. You want to see what type of momentum that they can build, especially going into October. I believe this game is in October or whatnot. You want to see where you're flowing at that time of the season.
That is UCLA's first time ever playing at Michigan State.
At Michigan State.
Correct. I want to say ever, right?
I would have to check on that. I'd have to check with my researcher. I'll get the junior intern on that, but you could be correct on that.
Especially since them joining the conference.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You got to show them how it's done.
I agree 100%. So you giving us a dub. All right. I'm with you. I'm rocking with you, Trish. I'm rocking with you. 4-2, baby. So, 2 games away. 2 wins away from bowl eligibility. And I can tell you this right now, the next game at Indiana, number 20 ranked at Indiana, it ain't coming there. We ain't getting our 5th win there. Unless you're ready to call an upset, because we got 3 games. We had 3 games against ranked opponents, and there's only one of them that is on the road. So if I'm going to give us a win against a ranked opponent, you're going to see who I'm going to give it to compared to giving it to Indiana.
I already know who it is.
You already know who it is then, right?
Are they $30 million in the hole?
They $30 million in the hole right now. They got an asterisk next to that national championship that they won a couple years ago, so you know exactly who I'm talking about. So going into that Michigan game actually follows the Indiana game. So Michigan State will be going into that.
This is what's going to happen. We're going to be pissed we took that L, and then we're going to come. Where's the Michigan game?
Michigan game is at home. It's at home.
Oh, I got to be there.
So we come exactly. So we come home the week after Indiana. We'll probably take one on the chin at Indiana, but we're gonna come up fired up. You know what I mean? All this smack talk with Michigan that we've been having to deal with or whatever over the past few years, even though they was over here, sending their assistant coaches into Central Michigan's coaching staff into our stadium because they felt like they just had to have the upper hand against us. You know what I mean? Stuff like that or whatever. We're going to have that on our mind going into this game, man. And I know Michigan is not as talented as they were last year. You know what I mean? Or the year that they won the national championship. So this is a game
I'm here trying to see. When is this game? Is this on the 18th?
No, it's on.
No, that's Indiana.
It's on the 25th. Indiana's the 18th. Michigan is on the 25th. So I feel us pulling off our first upset of the year that week. I'm calling it right now, Trish. We're pulling off our first upset of the week on October 25th. When the Big House boys come into Spartan Stadium. We're going to show them what time it is, man. It's a new day. So how you feel about that one right there?
I feel like I need to put in my PTO request right now.
It's going to be a party up in that joint. We're going to party up in that joint like it's 1999, 2000 when we won that basketball championship. So when we pull that upset off, that's going to be our upset of the year. That's going to be Jonathan Smith's first signature win as the Spartan head coach. And that puts us at, I believe, 5 and
October.
3.
That's the last. Yes, that's 5 and 2.
5 and
nope.
No, 5 and 3.
Nope.
Because we're gonna take an L to Indiana. We're gonna take an L at USC and Nebraska because, like I said, we struggle on the road. And before I can go and sit here and say, "Hey, you guys are gonna get it done on the road," I need to see it first. So I'm not giving them wins in their first 3 road games. So right now we're at 5 and 3.
Pause. How are we 5? We got a win against Western Michigan. We got a win
Boston
against
College, Youngstown State,
Boston College,
UCLA, and then Michigan is the 5th win.
Win UCLA. Yep.
So Michigan will be our 5th win of the season, right?
Yep.
So we're 5-3 right now. We are 1 win away from bowl eligibility with games at Minnesota, at home against Penn State, at Iowa, and at home against Maryland. 4 chances to get 1 win, Trish.
Yeah, we can do it.
I think we can do it too. It's definitely
we can actually get 2 to 3 wins.
I'm gonna sit here and say it. It's gonna happen in that first Saturday of November, which is actually November 1st at Minnesota. That's going to be our first road win right there. I'm calling it right now. Not only is that going to be our first road win, but that win is going to get us to bowl eligibility at Minnesota. So I'm feeling that right there. That puts us at 6 wins right there. You got it up? You got it up?
Yeah, and then we got a bye week. We got a little bye week.
Yeah.
And now we're in the middle of November, and this is Penn State.
Yeah.
So wait, we got to go back. Who are we playing for homecoming? Homecoming is.
I'm not sure. I don't have that up here on my list, but I know Penn State.
Is that the Michigan?
That might be I'd have to check and see, but I know Penn State is going to be an L. Penn State's going to be an L, so I'm not even going to go ahead and go deep into that one. At Iowa, I'm not really confident in at Iowa. I'll be honest with you, Trish, because Iowa is a stout program. And like I said, we have our struggles on the road, so I'm not going to give us that win. But for the home finale against, who was that? Maryland. Maryland's a good team, too. Maryland is a team that they're not going to sneak up on you because we know that they are a solid program over there, and that is not going to be an easy win for us. But since it is the last game of the season and it is at home, it's going to be senior day. We're going to be in front of the Spartan Stadium's faithful. I'm giving us a dub right there.
And it's Thanksgiving weekend.
Thanksgiving. You can't never get mad at that with a couple turkey legs around the way, right?
AKA my birthday weekend.
Oh, so it's super lit that weekend. There we go, right there.
Lit.
So I got us at 7-5 this year. Last year we were 5-7. This year we're gonna be 7-5. That's how I'm looking at our program this year. This is gonna be year 2 of Jonathan Smith, and I expect to see improvement. I don't expect you to go out here and win a Big Ten championship right off the rip, but I definitely expect you to pump it up and level up to bowl eligibility in your second year with the program. So I got us at 7-5. How you feeling about that, Trish?
I have a question. For you. What bowl do you think we'll wind up in?
I have no idea. That's the hardest question in the world with all these bowl games they have out here now. I can't even keep up with who goes where. That's a whole nother question that we can talk about, you know what I mean, when it comes time for us to receive that bowl invitation. But 7 wins is going to get us to bowl eligibility. And in my book, that is going to be a success, especially for Jonathan Smith in his second year with the program. You know what I mean? The first year, you have no expectations at all. But they got 5 wins last year, and it could have been 6 or 7 because they gave away a couple of the games based off those turnovers and not doing well on the road. I think we're going to see dramatic improvement in that realm this year. I'm not too confident about our road deficiencies and us fixing those in year 2, but I do believe we'll have enough juice to get us to 7 wins, which will make us bowl eligible for year 2 of Jonathan Smith.
I was actually looking forward to seeing us play Oregon. Him and his whole coaching staff basically came from Oregon.
Yeah.
That would have been really awesome to kind of just beat him.
I agree. Well, hey, if Jonathan Smith really wants to get froggy, go out here and pull a few more upsets, and maybe we can meet Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. What type of story would that be right there? You know what I mean? So it's not impossible. It's not out of the realm that he can see Oregon this year, but it would have to be in a Big Ten championship game. And in order for that to happen, obviously he's going to have to pull off more than just one upset. So only got 1 upset on our schedule right now, but if he can pull off 2, more power to him. To him. I love it.
That's going to be a really good upset.
I love it. Regardless, football season is here. I'm so excited and whatnot. I know you are just as excited too. And you know what? Let's keep the football grind going and let's level up to the NFL. Last week, I probably could have had you on for last week's discussion about the Lions and the Vikings and the Packers and the Bears. But you know what? This is the perfect week for you to be here, Trish, because now I'm about to get your insight on the Chicago scene. Ben Johnson, the former offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, is now the head coach for the Chicago Bears. So I know there's some expectations coming into year 2 of Caleb's second year as well. You know what I mean? The rookie, the former rookie quarterback coming into his second year, so we want to see what he's going to do under the guidance of Ben Johnson. Trish, what is the vibe down there in Chicago? You live in Chicago. You've been there throughout the entire offseason. Ben Johnson coming into town and bringing in a whole new regime. What is the vibe with the Chicago Bears going into the 2025 season?
We're excited, but here I have to say this: we start every season with this sort of overexcitement, and we just know we're going to come back home with a Super Bowl championship. And we may have a great preseason. We may even come out the gate with 1-0, 2-0, go into 3-0, and then we take every L possible. And it happens, more often than I care to admit. So
I'm fully aware.
Well, it's been like that for the Lions fans too, up until this past season and the season before that. So it's been really great to see Detroit do its thing, and then for us to boss up and get y'all's coach. I love it. I love it so much. I love it so much. So I am really, really looking forward to both the Chicago-Detroit games. Which, matter of fact, I will be at Ford Field for the Bears-Lions game. I cannot hold on. In my Peyton jersey. But I will have my little Detroit jersey because I am a fair weather, it's my second home. So just in case we lose and y'all win,
You just went on wax with the fair weather fan play?
Carl Rogers jersey. So, at the end of the day, Spartan Dog, just paying homage.
I ain't mad at it. I'm not going to judge you here on the Rich Review podcast. If you want to be fair weather or whatnot, you want to rock out with two teams, man, more power to you or whatnot. But
we're so excited, for this season and just to get Detroit's coach and pull a fast one on him twice this season. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to make for a very interesting. It's going to spice that rivalry up for sure because Ben Johnson had a lot of success here in Detroit and what he did to help elevate the Detroit organization into, the contender status that they are right now. Obviously, Dan Campbell going to get the majority of the credit, but, the coaching staff he had under him with Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn with what they were able to do with that offense and that defense, obviously it elevated them both in the head coaching positions. And Ben staying right here in our division. Lions obviously coming in as the two-time defending NFC North champs or whatnot. Chicago coming in. They were picked by many to finish last or whatnot, but Ben Johnson and his trick plays and his quirky play calls that he had with Detroit that helped our offense elevate and become one of the best offense in the league last year is now going to be, in the realm of Caleb Williams. And, he's a very talented quarterback, and with the offensive coach like him, an offensive guru like Ben Johnson, that Chicago offense should definitely improve. I'm a little disappointed about the Lions trading away Tim Patrick today, man. Like I know there's a lot of people who won't recognize that name, but he was the number 3 receiver for the Lions last year. I thought he played solid in that role, so losing him, might have a little bit of effect on our offense, especially without Ben Johnson. But I'm really excited to see what Ben Johnson is going to do with the Bears. I don't like the Bears. Y'all are our rivals. I don't like the Bears. I don't like the Vikings. I don't like the Packers. I don't like none of y'all. Let's just be real. Let me just be real about that.
But listen, we if we share the same enemy, that kind of makes us allies.
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't like the Packers either.
That's true. The Bears, though, this is really going to spice it up, man. I can't wait to see that first handshake between Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell. I can't wait to see that first trick play that Ben Johnson is going to pull off on Dan Campbell's new defense.
Ben Johnson knows all of Dan Campbell's.
Hey, he does. But I'm telling you this right now, Ben Johnson, I call him BJ, he going to come up with some more plays. He's going to come up with more trick plays that the Lions don't know anything about, and that's and he's going to save them. He's petty like this. He's going to save them for the Detroit Lions game. I guarantee you he's going to draw up like maybe 4 or 5 different plays just to go up against us. That's how much of a genius he is.
Oh, I can't wait for that game. I'm so excited.
Man, it's going to be live. So you talk to me about the expectations that you guys always have, and it always ends up being disappointing or whatnot. But with Ben Johnson being in, there's got to be a new level of excitement out there right now. So do you feel like your team, your Chicago Bears, will be ready to contend and potentially dethrone the Lions from their reign at the top of the NFC North Division?
It's a high possibility just because that coaching staff last year had everything to do with the Lions being contenders. And get one of your main coaches, offensive line coordinator, that's a big deal.
It is. It is.
I'm not going to say that that's enough for us to just completely dethrone, but if that chemistry continues to stay on point the way it was, through preseason, it's a strong possibility.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you
Listen,
going to the Bears Lions game?
I'll roll with you. How about that? We roll together.
I'm somebody's guest, so
I might even have to set up a live podcast outside that joint.
okay,
You might
we
have to
should
come
talk.
join your boy.
Yeah. We should. Oh my God, that would be
That would be
okay.
fire. That would be fire.
We'll talk off the record for
Yeah,
sure. But
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, listen, I love it. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with the Bears. I really am excited. I am a huge Ben Johnson fan. I just love what he did with the Lions, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do with his first head coaching opportunity. And I'm actually kind of happy that he's still going to be in our division or whatever because I like those rivalries being spiced up with those type of storylines right there. And I do think that Ben Johnson's going to succeed down there in Chicago. So best of luck to you. Not going to happen this year. But best of luck to Ben Johnson and the crew and your boys, the Chicago Bears, moving forward. But this year, y'all going to have to wait because my Lions are going to be the 3-time defending NFC North champions. I already put that on wax last week, so you know I got to follow that up, right?
right. But if it does go that way, I feel like the Bears will be right up under them.
Hey, I could definitely see that playing out. The NFC North is very, very competitive. I think Minnesota's going to fall off a little bit because they're going to be putting expectations on J.J. McCarthy that I don't think he'll be ready to live up to. The Packers are going to be strong, but I know they're not better than the Lions. And the Bears could be right there surprising some people, man. I think Ben Johnson can go out here and really show what his head coaching capability will be, what his head coaching ability will be capable of, and maybe a potential NFL coaching of the year type of situation if the Bears can succeed under his guidance. So that's what I really can't wait to see at the end of the day.
Yeah.
All right, so that's how we're feeling about the Chicago Bears going into the season and trying to dethrone the two-time defending NFC North champs from Detroit. We'll see how that all plays out. But another passion that you and I need to go ahead and get into is the NBA season, fast approaching, being right around the corner, all the hype, you know what I mean, going into what they're saying regarding the television rights and the contracts and all that, and them moving over to NBA on NBC. A lot more games are going to be streamed accessible.
Old school, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of excitement around that. What are some things? What are you most excited about when it comes to the NBA season coming up?
So much, but I'm most excited to see the new analysts, the group that they have curated, particularly Michael Jordan being an analyst this year. Oh my God! Like, I'm just so curious to hear you speak. After all these years, he's kind of like been in the background, and I mean, Jordan is an analyst. Like, who thought we'd ever see the day? So that's really cool. Carmelo, I think that's going to be dope too because he's very intelligent, high IQ, has a lot to say. The Amazon team of analysts also incredible. So I'm really looking forward. Like when I watch basketball, sure I watch the game, but I have a different sort of ear, and I pay attention more to the analysts.
I love that. That is awesome. That is so awesome. And going back to the Michael Jordan, I don't know how NBC pulled that off. I don't know how they got Michael Jordan.
What was that contract?
Exactly. The king of all kings coming to just do analyst work. That's going to be amazing to see how that plays out. Having the GOAT on court side or whatever, giving his analysis of these games, man, that is definitely something that people are going to be willing to pay that extra $10, $15, $99 or whatever to get that Peacock service to see Michael Jordan giving his analysis. But man, that's awesome. I can't wait for this NBA season. LeBron James going into his 35th year in the league. You know what I mean? Still out here playing like he's 22 years old. SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander coming off one of the most remarkable seasons an individual has ever had in the NBA. Is he going to follow that up and lead OKC back to the to the championship. You got Steph and the Warriors, all the records that he has going that he's going to continue to elevate out there. We'll see how they bounce back. And then over in the East, it's going to be really competitive. Obviously, you got Boston. Obviously, you got Giannis in Milwaukee, unless he ends up getting traded. You got the Knicks. And then let's not sleep on the Pistons either. You know what I mean? They have made some really tremendous strides lately. And now they're in a position where they are contending. They made it to the playoffs last year. We're knocked out in the first round by the Knicks, but a lot of high expectations for the Pistons as well. So much to look forward to in the NBA season. And I'd be remiss if I forgot about your Chicago Bulls. I know you want to get into maybe some inspiration that they're going to have going into this season after a big announcement that took place early last week.
Yeah. Oh, our boy, where's he at?
There he is, Derrick Rose.
They're retiring Derrick Rose's jersey, January 24th, 2026. Got to put in for that day, too. Like, that's where all my PTO is going. Sports games.
That's awesome. And you know what? I'm so happy for Derrick Rose, too, because I know he's a legend down there in Chicago in his career. You know what I mean? Just it could have been, like, on an elite level without the injuries or whatnot, but he still had a phenomenal career. And for his number to get retired in his hometown.
In spite and
of
despite of that,
Yeah.
like, you still have that that presence and that sort of reach.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it just goes to show it's not always about the championship.
Yeah.
There are many players in the league that don't have it. Like Allen Iverson, for example, like he's still gonna be who he is, with or without a chip. The chip would have just obviously solidified and maybe a little bit more, been an icing on the cake or cherry on top or what have you.
Yeah.
But there's still who they are. They're still legends of the game.
No doubt. No
whichever
doubt.
way you slice it.
And they still have an impact even to this day. So that's what's so awesome. Hey, listen.
They're no less important.
You know we're going to be doing this more often, right? Especially once the basketball season gets revved up, man.
I can't wait.
I really want you on here, you know what I mean, to give me your feedback, give me your analysis, give me your thoughts or whatnot, man. This is something that, you and I have been talking about for a long time, and now it's finally here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to hold it down. 2 Spartan dogs getting down on this sports tip.
I can't wait.
My homie.
Thanks for
Absolutely. Thank you for joining and thank you for taking out the time. I really, really, really appreciate you. This is the first of many. We are going to get this thing rolling as the football season, the fall schedule, and the basketball season start to rev up here real soon. We're going to have a lot of fun, me and you, on this podcast thing. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm proud of you. You're killing it on this pod.
I'm proud of you too, baby girl. Like I said, I can't wait to have you on again. The one and only Trish Dave out here representing with your boy, the other Spartan dogs over here talking sports, basketball, football, D-Rose, all that or whatever. This is the type of content we're here to give you guys here on the Rick's Review podcast, man. We're going to switch it up every chance we get. But as you see, I'm bringing on some wonderful guests here each and every week. So, Trish, thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in to the Rick's Review podcast. Make sure you follow us on all of our social medias, Food Folks Fun. Follow the Rick's Review on IG. And, of course, you can check us out on our website, foodfolksfun.com, for any other information that you may need or things that you want to pass on to us. Or if you want to get down on the podcast with us or whatever, let us know. Find us out. Find us on foodfolksfun.com. For Trish Dave, the Spartan Dog, your boy JB Ricks, a.k.a. The Rick's Review, that is another edition of the Rick's Review podcast. We'll be back again in the very near future. Until then, enjoy the games. We'll see you in a minute. Peace.